The globally accepted memory of India's fight for independence revolves almost entirely around one man and one method: Mahatma Gandhi's doctrine of peaceful protest, ahimsa, and passive soul force. But on April 8, 1929, that peaceful narrative was interrupted. Two young men breached the visitor gallery at the Delhi Central Assembly. They hurled a bomb into the legislative chamber below, raining down leaflets through smoke. Then, instead of running, they stood their ground. They shouted revolutionary slogans at the top of their lungs and waited peacefully to be arrested. The mastermind was Bhagat Singh. At just 21 years old, he immersed himself in revolutionary theory and began arguing that Gandhi's passive resistance was not applying enough direct pressure to actually collapse British rule. Getting caught was the entire point. The arrest was the launchpad for a new approach to the independence movement, summarized in the leaflets scattered across the floor. It takes a loud voice to make the deaf hear. Singh started out as a devoted follower of Gandhi, but in 1922, after violence erupted at Chowri Chowra, Gandhi abruptly halted the entire national non-cooperation movement. Singh experienced deep disillusionment with peaceful protest. He turned to history and literature. He studied Marx, Lenin, and Bakunin, absorbing European revolutionary tactics to build a militant underground network known as the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association. The catalyst for physical retaliation came in 1928. During a peaceful protest against British policies, police launched a brutal baton charge that ultimately resulted in the death of senior independence leader Lala Lajpat Rai. Singh and his allies answered with bullets. They orchestrated the targeted assassination of British police officer J.P. Saunders outside a Lahore police station, proving Indian revolutionaries were fully capable of striking back with lethal force. Yet Singh quickly realized assassination was a strategic dead end. Killing individual officers would never collapse the British Empire. He needed a method to trigger a mass public awakening instead. That realization transformed the Central Assembly bombing into a calculated piece of political theater. The explosive they used was intentionally weak, designed to create noise and smoke rather than casualties. The goal was to ensure they were caught and brought to trial. Singh used the courtroom as a national megaphone. He smuggled writings out of prison and disseminated his primary text, directly challenging Gandhi's doctrine. He called it the philosophy of the bomb. This diagram outlines the core philosophical argument from his manifesto. On one side, he placed violence, defining it strictly as physical force used to commit injustice. On the other side, he placed physical force, defining it as the moral right to fight oppression. He then took his campaign to Lahore Central Jail. To demand equal rights for Indian political prisoners, Singh initiated a grueling 63-day hunger strike. During the strike, fellow revolutionary Jatin Das starved to death. His passing ignited unprecedented nationwide outrage and sympathy for the revolutionaries. Singh successfully weaponized his own physical suffering. He proved to the Indian public that he possessed the same capacity for endurance as Mahatma Gandhi, but he directed that endurance toward an uncompromising, militant goal. By early 1931, the stakes peaked. Singh, along with his allies Rajguru and Sukhdev, were sentenced to hang. A desperate nationwide public appeal arose, demanding that Gandhi intervene to save their lives. Gandhi entered high-stakes negotiations with the British Viceroy, Lord Irwin, regarding the death sentences. The men reached an ideological deadlock. Gandhi pleaded for their lives on humanitarian grounds, warning that executions would cause turmoil. But he flatly refused to make the pardoning of violent revolutionaries a hard condition for signing the Gandhi-Irwin Political Pact. On March 23, 1931, the British moved the execution up by 11 hours. Singh spent his final moments reading a biography of Lenin. He adamantly refused to appeal for mercy and walked to the gallows. Gandhi would eventually negotiate the political framework for Indian independence, but Singh's execution transformed him into a lasting symbol. Within months, his name was mentioned as often as Gandhi's across India, an outcome that reflected his own belief that while you can kill individuals, you cannot kill an idea.